On the local level here, I've had a little bit of a run-in with the council. So this is the joys of being an owner of a place. It's not all beer and skittles, as it were. The latest is that the council, in their wisdom, have sent me out a water usage bill. I wasn't sure how this worked up in Queensland. I was thinking it may be the council rates encompass all of things, including water. And that's why, because they're not cheap up here. They're more expensive than down south. But it looks as though obviously they do send water usage bills out separately. It depends whether you've got a meter as well. Although I think this might be just a proportion of the usage from this whole block of 15. So it's just an average amongst all the people living here, which is not the fairest system. But if they don't have separate meters, I guess you can't do much about it. Anyway, the thing that gets me about this is that the bill I've got for water usage covers a period prior to me actually owning the property. Well, only 2 weeks of it do I actually own the metered period that they're talking about. It goes up till about, I think, the 20th or something, the 21st of August. I settled on this property and took the legal possession of it on the 8th. So, but they've got me. This goes back until, I think, about April, this water usage bill, which is obviously supposed to go to the tenant, not me. So, I emailed the council. They took forever to get back to me, and I wasn't overly impressed with their result. They just said, talk to your solicitor about it. Thanks a lot. I mean, I don't see how they can compel me to pay a bill for a period of time that I wasn't actually the legal owner for the place. It's just impossible. They're just trying. It's not a large bill. It's about $75, but I could do without it. I mean, no one wants extra bills. I'm in a better situation with owning this place. It's definitely going to help me out financially long term. But you try to keep your costs down. Hopefully the maintenance here won't be too big. Although I do have those renovation plans, and I do want to buy some decent furniture, and I do want to buy a big screen TV and things. And I didn't want to do it before the grand final because I knew I'd get ripped off. I think the best specials for that will probably come before Christmas, and I can wait until then. And I'll get to watch the cricket, I guess, on a big screen, so that'll be nice. At least they've got a decent aerial here, so that's good. So that's my run-in with the council, and presumably have more. I contacted Body Corporate over this weird situation where we've got these hot tiles. There's two spots. The two of these tiles here on the floor are hotter than the rest, just two of them. And one's under this particular light here, and the other one's under the light there where the kitchen is, right below that. And I've got no idea. I've never encountered that before. I don't know what's causing it, but I'm just worried it could be some sort of electrical fault with the people downstairs. So it needs to be looked at, I think. But I've been totally ignored by Body Corporate Services, so thank you very much for that. It's been days since I emailed them and I've received no response. So I've got to chase them up, and I've got to chase the conveyancer up as well. So that's just wonderful. Also, I didn't get any response from the Cairns hospital. I sent them, I had to have my eyes checked, and just no response. So I got the impression that everybody up here is on holidays already for the whole week. The other thing is, I had another run-in with one of the vehicle drivers up here. Again, just walking across the street with a green light, and this guy beeps me and then yells out and abuses me. And I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? I'm walking with a green light. The only reason that he might have got upset is because I had to run across because I just didn't want to miss the lights. But it was a green light. And he was turning left into the road. Unless the laws are different up here to Melbourne, I don't get it. People seem to be they don't like people doing things quickly up here. They don't like sudden movements. It seems to be some sort of a thing with Queensland. But, it's happened to me a few times now, and I just don't understand it. Unless the road rules are different, they could be. It feels hotter than last year, this time of year. I didn't feel that the weather here was particularly warm until about the beginning of January. But this year I'm already starting to feel a bit of humidity. Now that might be because it is a little bit more humid. We have had a few clouds out in the sky of recent times. Other good thing right now too is because it's actually a long weekend, it looks like I'll have 3 days off from the childminding centre being open, which will be good. I think even during the week it was a little quieter because it's school holidays, but they still had kids coming in there, but at least it was a little quieter than usual. Mind you, there's actually another block of flats over the other side there, and there was some sort of a altercation between someone living there and the neighbour. Some idiot was playing rock music at about 8 o'clock in the morning, or between 8 and 9, really loud. I mean, it was loud here. This is from across the next block over. And so their neighbour gave them a blast and they shut up, thank God. So thank God some neighbours do stand up for their rights. I've also had noise here from in the bedroom. I don't know what the neighbours are doing. They're making they from time to time, and this is like about 2 a.m. They seem to be foraging around through their bloody wardrobe. Work that out. I mean, maybe that turns them on. I have no idea. I didn't hear any humping, thank God. That would have been worse. But yeah, making noises at around 1 or 2 a.m. Very strange. And when I was just sitting here, watching a video on my computer screen on the monitor there, and right behind me there, I could hear this nail thumping. And the bloody neighbour there, he decided to nail something into the side of the wall at about 8 o'clock at night, which I didn't appreciate. Luckily, it didn't last too long, but overall, look, it's been much better here though than the previous place I stayed at. The one setback might be that it's actually a little warmer up here being on the top floor. For all I know, there may not be any insulation in the roof, so I might have to get that checked, but it certainly feels warmer than what it was there. And if it is something like that, I'll get some insulation put in, because I reckon you've got to try to cool the place down up here during those hot months. It's just going to be unbearable, and I'll be paying a fortune for aircon if I don't do anything. So I've already started using the pedestal fan now, and I didn't have to do that at all last year. So it could be just me being different, or it could be the weather's changed. I'm not sure at this stage. I've been trying to find some plants to buy, and that's because my balcony is shaded and I want some flowering plants, but it's not as easy to find as you might think. I went to the reject shop and they have some seeds there, but none of them were applicable for a shaded area. But I know there are certain varieties like that. I looked them up online, and I might go to Bunnings or somewhere else. I don't think there's any decent nurseries nearby, unfortunately. So, but I'd like to get some plants out in the balcony. That'd be nice. And I'm going to start looking for a dining set to go out there as well, and eventually get a barbecue. And I might also get some. The only thing I haven't looked at yet, but I'd like to do. You see, my walls are fairly bare right now, and I'd like to get some prints, like that sort of thing that's already here. Some more like that I can put up on the wall. There aren't any picture hooks here, so, but I should be able, if I buy myself some tools, I should be able to just plug the walls myself, and I can go and get back at my neighbour at 8 o'clock at night and do it then. No, I wouldn't do that. That's very petty. You just think. Oh, the other thing about the neighbour too, he seems like a nice enough guy, but he's got this penchant to basically use my parking space. I mean, I don't have a car, so it doesn't inconvenience me in the slightest right now. But if I had a friend staying over and they had a hire car, well, of course that's different. But on several occasions he parked in the wrong spot, so hardly a huge infringement. Overall, as I said, it's been pretty good here. It's been pretty quiet, and definitely an improvement in spite of the fact we're next to that childminding centre. That hasn't been as bad as I thought. Certainly, I maybe just get adjusting to the fact that it's there, and I'm just playing a bit of music over the top of it when the kids are at their noises, which tends to be between about 4 and 5:30 in the afternoon. So I'll just play a bit of music on my computer. I might get myself a little bit of sound system, and that way I don't have to listen to them anyway. So yeah, that's my report up until the 1st of October 2017. And by the way, please, if you enjoyed my ramblings, which is hard to believe, but if you did, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.